All right, let's get into today's price action, kind of just what happened and my overall recap of the positions I took or position I took. So, let's start off on a higher time frame. We are at all-time highs, so I was pretty bullish. There was no real reason, at least on the weekly and daily time frames, to be bearish. Bear with me here. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. Okay. And then let's move into the daily. Okay, this is okay. It seems like the internet's not really working with me today, but so the daily was also bullish. I'm gonna go over. Let's see. There was 4 hour gaps. I'm just not even gonna point on the time frame because it's gonna take a hot minute to load anyways. So there's a 4 hour gap um, that I was eyeing out. You know what? Actually, I probably should show that. Okay, so it's a big 4 hour gap that I was looking at. We had a huge push up, so I was expecting a drop at least into 50% of the range. So looking at that would be down here. So actually, not at least into the 50% of the range, but at least into the 4 hour gap is what I meant to say. Um, but yeah, so then moving down, we have the 1 hour. So when the market opened at first, it was very choppy. It was kind of hard to see the direction, and then I'll show you the exact things that kind of confirm that we would most likely have a higher probability of moving lower, which gave me higher conviction in this trade. Um, once the 1 hour time frame loads up, but yeah, overall, um, there weren't too many complaints. I was a little hesitant when it came to my TP. Um, I was quick to kind of close out that trade. I mean, I closed it at my TP, but um, it's a little bit harder to sit through. Uh, and it could be because I was coming off of a loss. I really don't know. Um, but yeah, that's something I gotta look into this weekend. Um, but yeah, so this was the 1 hour. So we had a tap up here, a sweep of liquidity, the buy side liquidity I had marked out for the morning. Put in an SMT with ES, tapped into that 1 hour bearish, inverse to 5 minute on ES. So I was getting slowly, increasingly more bearish. So yeah, there wasn't anything on the 15. On the 5 minute, we had inverted this, then this. So it was just chopped pretty much until we had that second sweep up here. Um, and we put in this market structure here. So we had a nice break of structure, put in a 1 minute gap, and I was looking at the short side, at least to the 4 hour gap. That was my draw. So that's what I was looking at. We had that tap into that 1 hour gap and that 5 minute inverse up here. So I was pretty bearish coming off of that. So I pulled the trigger when we pushed up in here. My fill was way up here, which is fine. This was a very risky trade because I was trading during a 10 a.m. news. I didn't think it was going to be that volatile. I had a limit order. It just filled me way up here. I don't really know what I was thinking considering how some of these candlesticks have been moving. But in previous data, normally 10 a.m. news isn't this volatile. But that's something I got to keep in mind moving forward. Uh, I managed to trade well. I mean, as soon as I got tagged, as soon as that candle closed, I closed my stop loss and moved it to break even. I didn't really see any reason that price should come up and trade through that 1 minute gap again after it got respected. Um, and we put in an SMT, so I didn't really think that price would go up, so I was fine moving my stop early. Um, we moved down and I closed out pretty much right there. And the reason I did that, I had to extend. I mean, my draw was the 4 hour gap to begin with. Actually, with the original risk profile, it would have been something like that 25 handles, aiming for this down here, and that would have been the next 1 hour swing. I mean, 1 minute swing inside the 4 hour gap. So that would have got smashed too, but this worked out just fine. Um, and yeah, the rest of the session was pretty much chop. We came back, tapped into the 15 minute, had a nice break, and a move lower. I probably would have missed this because there was a 5 minute holding price up, which would have been against my trade. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't give this an A plus. I would give it A rating. The only reason I say that is because there wasn't actually. Yeah, actually no. I would probably give this like an A minus because of the 10 a.m. news. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, analysis, everything was pretty straightforward. Everything was nice. Um, but yeah, that was the only thing that I kind of had in mind. But I had a I had a feeling when I was taking the trade that my stop placement would be sufficient. But say that NQ would have put in the SMT instead of ES, I would have been stopped out. So that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, overall, great week. That trade puts me in the green for the week. I've been green every single week. Yeah, this month so far, um, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. So I'm on track. I'll probably shift into evals August, and that's gonna be my focus uh, throughout August. But yeah, that's it. I'm out.